To be honest with you, right, everything really is already digital. You know, once they, you notice how the tech constantly advances because you have, once they brought the cards with the chips, right, then now you got the banking on the phone where you store your card, your bank card on your phone, and all you got to do is all you got to do now is take your phone and scan it over the thing, and they got the little scanning now thing. There's no more swiping. You don't even have to insert it. They're grooming us to where when you get the chip in your hand, all you have to do is swipe your hand. Now, I want to say something because I wanted to be very careful about what I'm about to say because I know that what I say and what others say about the quote unquote the mark of the beast, people could take this for face value and not get the microchip on their own accord and then not feed their families because it's obviously coming because I don't have my card on me. But we all have bank cards, right? Cards that you swipe, you insert, it has a chip in it, right? Well, that chip is to be scanned, it's to be swiped. Well, the swipe is out. They wanted to switch it over to the chip for a reason. So I want you all to understand that we're going into a time that's moving into digital currency. And as we go into the new world order, there has to be a universal currency. And I'm not trying to tell the future, but I don't see another currency right now in the near future. Now, there might be. Why? Because I'm not someone that can see into the future. But can anybody see anything other than Bitcoin right now? Because we need something that's going to be worldwide. And you know the currency is going to be digital. Well, just understand once you become an outcast in society, they're going to be able to cut off your access. If you're somebody that does choose the mark, or let's not say the mark, because there's a lot of people that don't think that the mark of the beast is the microchip. But everything is going to be digital. Everything is almost digital now. Even this metaverse thing that's coming into effect right now. pretty soon people are going to be able to leave this reality and go into a nirvana, their own euphoria, their own utopia, their own paradise. People right now, when you're stressed and you have a hard day at work, or you come or you dealing with society, people can come and they can put on that, what's that Oculus thing or whatever it's called there now, and leave reality. You can sit on a beach with that thing, right? Have all the fat butts and pretty ladies you want walking by you. Drink yourself some wine while you got that thing on, and you can stare into the stars and completely leave reality if you want to. You can leave the matrix and and go into your own utopia, your own nirvana. We can already do these things. Artificial intelligent robots. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16, 32, 64, 128, and so forth and so forth and so forth. All of our personalities, our imaginations, all of our information that we put on YouTube, that we put on Instagram, that we put on Facebook, that we log into, and this and that and the third, even YouTube, Google, whom is a conglomerate giant, they own your personality. When you upload to YouTube, they own the rights to your personality. Read the contract. I read it. So your imaginations, your thoughts, your creativity is not yours technically when you upload it to YouTube. It you are giving up the rights to Google. There's no way out of this thing. This artificial technology, this www, this cloud, there are multiple supercomputers. The government has one too, which is the central, even Aladdin is the central nervous system for financial. Aladdin is not the only supercomputer. There are others. But right now, Aladdin is the central nervous system for all financial management. The central nervous system. It owns now about 30%, not owns, but it manages about 30% of the world's assets. One piece of software. This software is not just a software. This software that's so powerful is not a damn software that you just go in the basement and create. This software is supernatural. And there's other softwares as well that are being developed. I don't care how crazy I sound right now. This message is different from the other messages. I'm aware of that and I understand that. But I wanted to get this off my chest. I don't care how crazy y'all think I am. So you all can take this message and you can speculate this message. And you all have to understand that everything that we say over the internet goes into a cloud. This information is taken and it's gathered. Now, I want to say one last thing before I leave. The internet is also a gateway for demonic activity. You have to be careful over the internet. It's not a game. I don't know if anybody's ever seen the movie Shocker. It was one of my favorite movies when I was a young boy. Shocker. It was about this ex-con who got electrocuted and he came back to life. Well, he never died. He made a deal with the devil. And he, instead of dying, he became a man, an entity, a spirit that can travel through electrical circuits. He could come out of your receptacles, control anything electric, come out, jump out your TV, all of that stuff. See, they make these things for a reason. Go and find out why your cell phone screen is black. Do that personal research. See why the screens are black. Also, there was a cartoon. It's called Ghost in the Shell. It was about this spiritual entity that was connected to software. Now, this is stupid, right? Foolishness, cornball, right? That's okay. Remember, you all make your own choice when you decide to come and listen to these messages. Now, I know a lot of camps are gonna disagree with me, and that's fine because the Bible doesn't say indefinitely what the mark of the beast is. It tells you if you don't worship the image of the beast, but the image of the beast itself is not directly the mark of the beast. Why? It's part of it in a nutshell, but ultimately, the mark of the beast is something that is physical, that you're going to have to obtain in order to live everyday life. You know, some people, they even have doors now. Do you know what the new lock for a door is going to be? It's going to be a microchip scanner. I'm not going to say pretty soon, but as time goes on, and we're not talking about very far out, as time goes on, each and every door, when they make doors are not going to, keyholes are about to be a thing. I'm surprised that keys are still around. I'm surprised. Keys, regular keys, where you can just go to a locksmith and get a key made. I'm surprised we still using those. Because we already know that we got the push button joints, the cars now, where a lot of cars don't even need keys at all. Some of these new cars, they got push button start, and they just got a button where you open up the door and bam, that's it. Right? So that's the case for a lot of these vehicles. These new vehicles. They don't come with keys no more. Pretty soon, house doors are going to be the same way. Keys about to go out. Mark my remember I told y'all this. In order to get into your house, you're gonna have to scan your hand. Or you're gonna have to use facial recognition. It's gonna be the facial recognition, it's gonna be eyeball recognition. All of this stuff is coming into effect. Everything is about to be digital. Everything, man. So, I mean, this message is not an authoritative message, right? It's just something for you to think about for anything. As I said, this message was a little different. I'm not going to come here with authority and say that indefinitely that the mark of the beast is the microchip. Because we know that ultimately the mark of the beast is this world, right? Love not the things in this world, the lust of the eyes and the pride of the. Why? Because whoever loves this world, the love of Yahuwah is not in him or her. See, many of you love this world because some of you are doing well. But mark my words, many of you are going to die to death because there's no way in the world, and especially a lot of you women and a lot of our black women, especially a lot of our black women who's doing good. Remember Lot's wife. Remember Lot's wife. Before Christ destroyed Sodom, because you got to understand something about Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah, it's known for homosexuality. But I need you to understand something about Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah was like America. And when Lot had to flee Sodom and Gomorrah because Christ was about to destroy it, instructions was given to his wife to not look back. He told them all, don't look back. But Lot's wife, she had a problem with leaving all of that wealth. And she looked back. And she was turned into a pillar of salt. Damn. Christ turned that heifer into salt because she looked back. This Babylonian system, it has to go. And many of you love it because, especially those of you who are doing well, you love it. You love it. I'm going to get out of here, man, and get ready to get me some rest. I brought this message late, and I had no choice. I tried to bring it earlier. I didn't have the time to bring it earlier. I wasn't going to go past tonight. I intended to do it yesterday, but it is what it is. I know the second half of this scripture, the second half of this message, it wasn't heavily scripted out of the Bible, but the Bible is not going to say that, because the mark is spiritual as well. Okay? Now, you also have the mark of Christ. Now, the mark of Christ is literally a spiritual mark. You can't see it physically. But let me tell you how these movies are governed by the elitists and how these movies know pretty much. If you go to the movie World War Z, starring Brad Pitt, World War Z, those men that were running, those alleged dead men that were running and stampeding everything, in that movie, there was this one little female that they just kept running past. They wouldn't kill her. They just would run past her every single time, almost as if they didn't see her. That's how it's going to be like for those of us. Hopefully, I'll be one of them that have the mark of Christ on our forehead. See, because a lot of people don't understand that the kingdom is much greater than anything that you have here on this planet. But many of you are going to fail the test, man. And it's real sad because many of our own people are going to fail the test as well. Many of our own people are going to fail the test. You're going to choose this world. You're going to make everything on this planet preeminent to the kingdom. That's foolish. There's no way in the world that the woman, the American woman, I'm not just going to say the black woman, we're talking about the American woman altogether. There's no way in the world that the majority of you all are going to decline what's going to be necessary to live in everyday society. This is why that many of you women without a God-fearing and spiritual man are going to be destroyed. And if many of you have him, he's going to be cornball to y'all, corny, or you're going to say, there's no way in the world you're going to make me broke. But you have to choose Christ before this world. You're going to have to go through being a vagabond. Don't let no institution tell you that you have to be a vagabond, that you don't have to be a vagabond before you make it to the kingdom. In order to get into the kingdom, you have to be stripped of everything from this world. Don't you understand that? You got to be stripped of everything. You have to choose the kingdom before everything. Money, cars, houses, spouses, children, everything. That's the only way to be a disciple, and it's the only way to make it into the kingdom. You have to abandon eventually, because that's what's going to happen. He's going to take everything from us in order for us to make it to the kingdom. Many of you have no idea what entails of being a believer. Many of you love your wife more than the king, more than wanting to get into the kingdom. Many of you love your husband more than wanting to get into the kingdom. You're hypocrites. Some of you say, well, mid-tribulation, we'll just get caught up. Well, that might happen. But if you want to bank on that, that's very foolish. Because if you don't live your life, if you don't put Christ before everything, if you live your life as a coward, you're not getting caught up nowhere. because you're breaking the law. Isaiah 65:11. But ye are that forsake Yahuwah. Many of you that take the mark of the beast, you're going to be people that forsake Yahuwah. And you're going to forget the kingdom. You're going to forget his holy mountain. You prepare a table for the Babylonian god, for Baal. And that furnish that drink offering into that number. Many of you are going to accept the number of the devil. So, the Antichrist is twofold. The Antichrist is twofold, has a twofold meaning. It is a kingdom, it is a new world order system, but it's going to be ruled by a man. Okay? It's going to be ruled by a man. I want to go to 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Now, this is going to be a group of men, right? Because it's going to be Esau. See, Esau is in more than one nation. Esau is even in the nation of Israel. You got to understand that Esau is in the nation of China. Esau is in the nation of Japan. That's the reason why these 10 kings, these 10 elitists, they're going to give their wealth. They're going to financially empower, just like these lobbyists financially empower these presidents and prime ministers, the ones whom do according to their bidding. That's how these people get put into offices. That's how people are treacherous to their own countries, to their own nations. This is how presidents become assassinated for speaking the truth, like John F. K. and Reagan. There was an attempted assassination, and Trump better not go back, try to be president again, because Trump is too brave. Trump's balls hang too low. If Trump tries to go for the presidency again, he might not make it. They might try to assassinate him Because see, Trump don't care. Trump's stupid. Trump don't care. Trump ain't scared of nobody. That's why, some people say he's racist. Maybe he is. I don't know. Trump, my man, either way you look at it, man, I like his he got spunk. Except the falling away of what? The neglecting of Yahushua HaMashiach. If anybody says that this verse means something else, they are an antichrist. If anybody tells you that the falling away, speaking of anything else besides neglecting Yahusha, they are lying. It's a lie from the pits of hell. The falling away, I'm standing on it with my balls, is referring to neglecting Yahusha. And the son of perdition will be revealed, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. So there's going to be one man sitting in the temple, not a whole nation of people. The Antichrist is a system that's governed by a man. And this man would be giving power by the beast. And he's going to speak great swelling words. He's going to blaspheme the name, the word of Elohim, the tabernacle of Elohim, and he's going to blaspheme those in heaven, and he's going to hunt down and kill as many Israelites as he possibly can. And homelessness will be illegal. There will be more. That's the purpose of the recessions as the recession. I'm telling you right now, you can call this a recession if you want to. This is the dollar rising, and it won't come back down. This is the dollar rising. And our currency is changing. There will come a time where our currency will be completely digital. There will come a time where currency will be completely digital. You can take this message and you can do what you want to do with this message. Okay? You take this message and you want to do with this message. You don't have to take it seriously. You don't have to do none of that. And this is not an authoritative message. But you can do your research, you go ahead and speculate, you do everything you want to do. Pretty soon, if not damn near already, everything is going to be completely digital. We're already almost there. We're almost there now. Pretty soon, you're not going to be able to get into your car without swiping a chip on your door. Your chip is going to be linked to everything. Your bank account, your HMO, your house, your car, your television, even your office at work. They're going to have to synchronize they do that at Area 51. They do that at certain government facilities. Some people are already walking around with chips. Certain government officials, it's mandatory that they have the chip already. And then they synchronize it for whatever they need to do for their job. To get into your office, your chip is going to have to be synchronized to the pad, the locking mechanism. Well, the mark of the beast is sin. Well, that's not a fair assessment. Everything bad is sin, and everything good is the commandments.